welcome back to another Saturday live stream here on the Grinding Flat Productions Twitch channel. We are playing some I Love You, Colonel Sanders today. You're probably wondering why you've just got my face here. Well, I haven't actually loaded the game yet because I wanted to show you the intro. Last time we jumped straight into the game, and this time I want to show you what the actual title card of the game looks like. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Quickly jump back into OBS. Here we go. It's so anime, and I love it so much. And that's the intro. Oh man, I had to show you guys that. I thought it was really cool. Anyway, we're on to day 2 of I Love You, Colonel Sanders. I haven't played it in a week, so I'm gonna have to remember the voices I did for every character. Hopefully, I can actually get the character voices right. Otherwise, we're just gonna make it up as we go along, as I usually do. Got my coffee. A little bit cold, but whatever. Oh, okay, so we're continuing on from here. We've already done this, but I'll have to do it again. Just gonna skip. No. Aha! Sorry, I'm trying to just fling through this as quickly as you can. Spork Monster, yep. There we go. Spare the wretched beast is what I did last time. No, skip. Okay, this is where we were up to. Yeah, we dream about chicken and whatever. Okay, we awake on day 2. And then there was a secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably that he trusts you so much. So basically, if you didn't see last week, we fought a Spork Monster, passed out, Colonel Sanders carried us back to our house. We had a dream of Colonel Sanders. He told us one of the secret ingredients, but it was bleeped out. Ooh, speaking of, I need to get my bleep button ready. I just used my phone last time because I tried to do it through Google Chrome. And it didn't work, so let me just quickly do that. Bleep button. App. Okay. Probably because he trusts you so much. Why is Audacity opening? What the fuck? Audacity, get out of here. Sure, it makes sense. We'll go with that. Okay. You meet up with your bestie. I'm doing it again, I'm going straight into American. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with Spork Monster, she launches into a story all of her own. Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might be, I think I might like Pop. Like him. Like? I know, it sounds like it's moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. Like him. We got talking after class, and he's actually a totally sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders enlisted in the army when he was only 3? Not only that, but he founded a special unit of super soldiers who all wear the same hats because he put a hat on one time and they thought it looked cool. But Colonel Sanders doesn't even wear a hat, he wears a ribbon tie. Either way, maybe it'd just be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders, the coolest guy in school? The most famous student ever to attend the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning? You're a thing now? Well, we definitely connected yesterday. Sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into you, I guess? Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Your bestie's eyes light up. A secret ingredient? Yeah, I just said that. A secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in a botanical garden where I was wandering. Oh, this can't be good. He told me about his passion for spices. Secret spices. The man even gave me some to show me what he meant. He said it was a powder created from a super duper rare dried flower petal. And that if I did him a big favor, I could have some of my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and I brought them home. He was so nice, he even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with them, a very strange feeling came over me. The flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Whatever. Anyhow, we both share an interest in cooking, so we stayed in touch. You know, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about the new spices. Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe. And besides, I only know one ingredient, so I doubt it'd be much use to anyone. Please, please, please! It would mean the world to me. No one has to know where it came from. Wait, no one has to know it came from you or Colonel Sanders. What do you think? Should you protect Colonel Sanders' secret recipe or share it with your bestie? I'll tell her. Okay, I'll tell you, but it has to say secret. Miriam nods furiously. He told me that he uses... Never would have guessed that, would you? Her eyes light up, imagining such a thing, and you figure that you've satisfied her curiosity, and she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone that you can't quite see. Probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm that she's definitely not texting secrets to her other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in. Cherry blossom petals fill the air. It's Colonel Sanders, arriving at school, on a horse. Stand back and admire his majestic glory. Run to him. I'll do that. You decided the best way to show Miriam how serious you and Colonel Sanders are would be to run up to him. Surely he'll sweep you up onto the back of his stallion and you'll ride away together. That'll show her good. Oh, Colonel, my Colonel. However, your sudden movement surprises the horse. It rears up, kicking you directly in the face. The force of the blow knocks you out cold. In the darkness, you see a vision. Ooh, Thomas, I'm here to deliver a message to you. Oh god, not this guy. It is important that you remember exactly what I say. If you forget, the world could end, so you know it's serious. I've been trapped in the realm beyond, but a great prophecy relies on my return. Only you can save me. All you need to do is repeat my name 3 times. And my name is... But before you can continue, you're suddenly awake. Oh, jeez. You wake up to find Colonel Sanders tending you. He roused you back to life with a satchel of secret spices. Or is that just his natural seasoned musk? Compliment the craftsmanship of his horse's shoes. Lean in for a kiss. I'm gonna compliment his horse. Maybe he shouldn't be riding a horse to school, and maybe you shouldn't be running up to animals you don't know. It's hard to say who was in the wrong here. But you know one thing for sure, Colonel Sanders is pretty dreamy. That horse has beautiful shoes. I could really feel how smooth and sturdy they were when they were pressing into my face. That's nice to hear. No one really truly appreciates good craftsmanship anymore. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you see your two rivals, Ashley and Van Van, are doing something bad. But the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipes bad, experimenting with restricted ingredients bad, summoning a demon bad? You try to peek over Van Van's hulking shoulder, but he sees you coming.
Well there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this.
Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? Tell them to stop acting immature, act like you're not interested in them, but really try to get a closer look. Tell them to stop acting immature. You immediately dress the rivals up and down for their immature behavior. Culinary School is a place to be respected. This kind of nonsense is a waste of everyone's time. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the Emperor of Cooking, are you? You make the rules?
I'm not sure you'd know what a good meal is if it ain't you.
Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache.
And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil.
You finally get a look at what it is they're hiding and you instantly recognize it. It's a book, just like the one you found after your encounter with the Spork Monster. That's the same book I found last night in the quad. Ashley immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about. That book's a family heirloom and its contents are secret. You notice that they haven't just been studying the book, they've got Pop pinned to the wall. And they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. We're playing! Before you can dig any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Beep, beep. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van Van's meaty foot.
Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts.
You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Who do you think you're talking to? I never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer.
Womp womp. No, your mother was a stand mixer.
Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know that this is a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got a lofty career aspirations to focus on. Maybe I can help you with your business plan. Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog.
Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I've spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny legs are very, very tired. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn.
Rub his furry dog belly, he loves it. Sprinkles stops in his tracks and sniffs the air around you. Something has him in a trance. It's the scent left on you from Colonel Sanders. Sprinkles jumps on you and licks your face. Down, boy, down. Out, hop it. I don't know what that means, but anyway. The command shouted by Colonel Sanders? The command shouted by Colonel Sanders has snapped Sprinkles out of his trance. I wonder what's up with that.
Sorry, I got a little carried away.
After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom.
Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken. You want to pay attention to the lesson, truly, you do. Which is why in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken who first signed their name.
But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you've missed most of the important bits. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you.
Well, Thomas?
Naturally, this appears to you to be a sample platter. Which item do you sample? A glass of water, a shimmering pepper, a dog biscuit. Well, a dog biscuit's clearly for the dog, so it's between a glass of water and a shimmering pepper. I might try the pepper. A brightly coloured pepper stands out from the other items. It sparkles in a most eye-catching way. So naturally, you reach out, grab it, and eat it. However, your body was not prepared for the heat. The pepper has triggered an intense spice hallucination. It feels like forever as you trip through the universe. My friend, ooh. This guy again? I'm here to give you an important message. Ooh. You must avenge my death and fulfill your destiny. All you must do is... I was saying to fulfill your destiny, all you have to do is... Sorry, I think I still got some spice stuck in my throat. It's fine, I'll work through. To fulfill... the prophecy... You must... You feel yourself begin to regain consciousness. Oh, man. You come to find everybody staring at you.
That pepper was the last of its kind on Earth, and now it's gone forever!
You think to yourself, geez, I should have paid better attention. We all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you someday. Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim, and your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement.
Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competitive cook-off.
Via timed competitive cook-off. The level of theatrics with these two is off the charts. Step up and tell them you're on. Bit of lunchtime competition, eh? Count me in. If I have to wipe the tables with you fools before I can set my lunch down, then so be it. Ugh, excuse me.
I am not the fool, you're the fool.
Hey, good one, Van. I like your gumption, Thomas. I'll be watching your performance. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkles steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness.
Now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sportsing court.
Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief.
At least not until we turn on the timer.
Just then, a huge lights blast in your face with the words, "Timer ready."
That's what I'm talking about. Oh!
I stand corrected. The hard way builds solidly a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case anyone was wondering. I hope its message lifts you to victory. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now it's my time to shine. I will defeat you myself. You had his chicken, and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day one. And you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. What temperature does water boil at? 100°C. That's right. But how would you have gotten into the school without knowing that?
The winner gets to rub my furry belly. The winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that enticing offer motivate you.
You're going to need to season the chicken before you can cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. How many herbs and spices did he say he used?
11.
That's right. You might not know all the ingredients, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Tail wagging intensifies. Now that you've got some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. What state of mind offers the most flavor? Crust. That's wrong! Oh no!
I'm begging you to get it together. Get it? I'm a dog. It's never the wrong time for some dog jokes.
Next question. The classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on this advice and draw energy from that place. Now would be a great time to harness that energy. Where does it come from? A small town where big dreams are born. That's right. This is your shot, and if you don't go for it, you're going to miss it. Oh! You try and shut off the noise in the arena and focus on your cooking. Sizzling. Oh, it's wrong! You notice Colonel Sanders at the corner of your eye. I believe in you. He's actually cheering you on, which could be awesome, except he's watching you make... Except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonfuls of gravy... You're stranded on a deserted island with only one dessert book. Hang on. You're stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which one do you take? What a hunk. I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind. You're really struggling to keep up. Next station over, Ashley has already begun plating her elements. It's colourful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into a stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Yikes. I know you love nothing more than seeing your fellow appliance utilized in the kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing a personal touch. You might not have any hands, but Thomas does, and a good chef needs to be touching the dough and knowing how it's mixed properly. There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand into the mixer to rescue the dough before it's over mixed. Not fast enough, your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use this hand for the rest of the match. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult. Everyone, stop what you're doing right now. The battle is over. This can't be. I was so close to finishing my dish. Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on. Aw, it's too bad. And here I am with a completed dish ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. No, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two on account of Thomas's injury. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops as he locks onto the dish. But I suppose we could at least taste what you've prepared. Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skip straight to dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights, taking you on a journey of flavor and taste, and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask Thomas to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring the creamer of delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. Ooh. You find a delicate fried cheese croquette atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream 2 ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry jelly. Jelly? I don't know. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed as he dips his finger into the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you. He places a sauce-covered finger to his lips. Ashley leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. Internalize the rage you feel. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes that they burst into flames. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash, and they fall off your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester, perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried eyebrows, you run for the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside you a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and has decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. It's not just from the devastating loss, but from the run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I'll never be a master chef. Failure is part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well then think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you, enrolled in a culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, and motivated. Well, handsome for sure, I was born that way. But I've walked other paths, arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner in a gunfight. I lost my innocence when I picked up a firearm and put a bullet in my rival. He survived, for a while anyhow. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it together, which is true now, but it hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. Colonel Sanders changes focus. You can see something ignite in him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My dream is pure. It's honest. It's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening shadowy presence. Battle scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the Spork Monster. Borko?
It is I! I know I said I wouldn't be back after that whole fight to the death thing. Maybe you don't really want to see me anymore, but, I just wanted to say I was wrong to attack you, and I wanted to apologize. I know what it's like having to always look over your shoulder. Monster problems, am I right?
Aw, thanks, Borko. I'm glad there are no hard feelings. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark of night can really rile a person up. I also want to apologize for the way I switched right into attack mode.
I know that you're strong, and cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to this school. I wasn't always a Spork Monster, you see.
I don't believe it. You were human once?
Well, no, I was a golden retriever, but I was still a student. Until one day some mean kids with a magical spellbook cast an enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed.
A magic spellbook.
Precisely. I had procured a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg of you, respect it. You're a powerful chef. I shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic.
No, you're a powerful chef and shouldn't rely on dark and evil magic.
No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear. I will be there.
Sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Thomas, together, I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway, and we can discuss. A personal invite. I can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Stepping into Sanders' home, you are surrounded by his things. You start to feel a special bond with him. There's a fucking chicken. Hang on, is that candle like a gravy candle? Anyway. Looks like you lead an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure if I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder about the dish that you might be describing. It's meant to pair something spicy or something crispy. Perhaps both? Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret just for you? Reveal it! You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Magnificent. Together you chow down on the creamy slaw, until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer him more, but he seems a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memory and emotion. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. I want to find out about this candle. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake. Summer of '69? No. It's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's... Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. The cock. Oh, it's stuffed. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting in the corner of the table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't realistic. It's real. Taxidermy. Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note is clipped to the chicken's foot. It reads, the true state bird of the great state of Kentucky. A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of a comb. Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silvery in color, it's actually made of spun silver. Oh, door open. A large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal, there's a plaque on it. It's dusty, you wipe it off and read the inscription. Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures. Poor guy. Gaze out the window across a vast lake and a mountain range beyond. Just then the ghost of the student pops up. Are you thinking about heading into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Well, I never learned your name. How could I avenge you? I could tell you my name right now. It's... Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack, and the ghost of the student is swept out with the breeze. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. You look closely and see there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt. An adorable baby boy crawls along the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figure this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Probably the same type of person who would make their own base logo of the company they founded, am I right? This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders, and then it dawns on you. As soon as you dial 111111, the safe opens. Inside is a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? No, it cannot. You will get salmonella and die. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they mean? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual, but he notices you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket. You forgot to take it off. Decide now is a moment to make a big move. Tell him you were cold. Fess up and tell the truth. Big moment. This isn't that kind of game. Not that we blame you for trying, but still. Game over! Oh, come on. Try again. Oh, it took me all the way back here. Are you serious? Why? Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go.
Aw.
Fess up and tell him the truth. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take the jacket off and run for the door. But the thought of leaving the Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes? I honestly think this might be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence! Day 3. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. We're only half an hour in, so I'm going to keep playing. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the secret ingredient you learned about. In some jurisdictions, it isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how would they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room, holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here is a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. I don't think I would ever have KFC for breakfast, but, you know. We also don't get these, biscuits in Australia, and I'm really mad about it. We get fucking dinner rolls. And they're not great. I mean, they're alright, but I'd much prefer to have, like, a biscuit. Also, we don't call them biscuits, we call them scones, or scones, or scones, or whatever we want to call them. The only difference I can tell between a scone and a biscuit is that scones are sweet and biscuits are savory. Apart from that, they are the same thing. So, A biscuit for us is a cookie. That's a biscuit. Say you want a biscuit, we would expect a cookie. Not one of these things with butter on it. Don't mind me, I'm just having a snack. Yeah, that's right. It's Colonel Sanders and also a mukbang. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. It was maybe a mistake to eat something chewy. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. You know, I think we make a great team. A single tear begins to pull in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. With the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused about your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home and find something surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I can't find you. I was worried that something happened. It's okay, I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you're not going to believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date! I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered with Pop, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him you better harness those wild horses, young man. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know this little guy. Long story short, he took me to his favorite shush house, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say shush house? Shush house? As if that's a thing people just say. What is it even referring to? And now I'm not really even sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her the whole story. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Miriam tells you to move on from this whole obsession and focus on school. Being obsessed with Colonel Sanders... If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, I don't want to be right. After a short argument, you both agree to go separate ways. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, it's Pop. What's a swirly? Sounds delicious!
Oh, it's great. I'll order you one up right away.
I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles?
I accidentally clicked. Anyway. You can get your swirly dipped too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school.
There's that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle, beautiful creature?
You've got some nerve suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse.
Now you're twisting my words. I won't have it. You clench your fist, but from the injury from yesterday's mixer accident, it makes you wince with pain.
Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up.
I'll never give up. Colonel Sanders arrives just as things are getting close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Thomas, how's the hand feeling? I'm sure he'll be back to fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned by my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? What about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear you're passionate about how your food is received. A lot of words to say it was bland. Excuse me, Thomas, I'm more than capable of speaking for myself. Maybe you could tell me a little more of your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine arts of fine foods. See you inside. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spellbook you received yesterday and start flipping through its pages. Whoa, that's that book. That's that book? I think that should be, whoa, what's that book? It looks like bad news. Whoa, what's that book? It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire. But I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? Well, I can only think of one surefire way to find out. You open a page covered in arcane warnings, cast only in case of extreme emergency. It says around the edges of the page. I could use this spell here that says it'll erase anyone that I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it'll probably help me focus much better for my upcoming exam. Whoa, that's way too drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else? Like not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine, it is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Cast the forbidden spell, don't do it after all. Well, the Spork Monster told us not to, so I'm gonna not do it. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice and makes a quick announcement. I want you to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you there's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. You reach for some old homework to give him a snack. Dogs can be rather unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait, see what happens. He must be hungry. You reach into your backpack and grab some homework from last semester that you forgot to turn in. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles the sheet of paper like it's a piece of fresh chicken rawhide. I apologize for the outburst. I know it seems cliche, but not much in this world satisfies like ungraded work. My, Thomas, you were studying. Something with cinnamon? I've been sitting in on a lecture series around the art of cake baking. How insightful. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Thomas, for reminding me to dole out this indispersible bit of wisdom. You see, but before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills into the classroom. Sprinkles is interrupted by some sad whimpering coming from the back of the classroom. I told you to save it for after class. But I miss you. We went on one date, Pop. How can you miss me when I'm right here? Pop's voice quivers as he pleads his case to Miriam. Every time I blink, you go away. That's a really cute thing to say. Miriam, what happened between you and Pop? I got her in trouble and now she's mad at me. You didn't just get me in trouble. I got yelled at by Pop's mother, who blames me for getting him banned from every museum we set foot in. Oh, so that's what you meant by shush house. Pop, we went on one date. We're over. And it meant so much to me that I made you this. Too hurt to go on arguing, Pop leaves his creation behind and runs out of the room. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't distract ourselves from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam trademark. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, a very beautiful soul nearby is in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that, in front of everyone? The tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if a source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe, sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a big ranch, and a ranch big enough for both of us, and whoever else you want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show you a little interest. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup. And I bet Professor Dog is gonna love it. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay, because you had a better idea on how to spend time before your exam. You decided to head to the arena early and practice a dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants off the supposed Man, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test recipe you've been working on. Thomas's favorite chicken pot pie. Famous, sorry, not favorite. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you. And you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Thomas, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it in. I'm big into visualizing success, so I'm looking at my station, picturing victory. The pot pie has begun to bake and the smell slowly fills the space surrounding you. Visualizing, huh? Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who's hungry, but last time you let Colonel Sanders get into your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your romantic desires above... you're cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the timer goes off behind you. Fess up about your practice dish. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little more than just visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh no, is it burning? No. I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC. They don't want no scrubs. But it will probably start... Why am I gobbling my words now? But it will probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow! It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules, that is, except to cook with everything you've got. You step up to the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has a giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely preparing to go big by going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 secret herbs and spices. but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe are fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at full 10 out of 10. Man, there are typos in this. Okay. The intensity in the room starts at a full 10 out of 10 with frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash! Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend, Baste of Blaster. Van flexes his pecs as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roid! Yeah, he's on steroids for sure. Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray at lightning speed. Shallow personality spatula. Even Clank gets into it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? It's a singularity, as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen or the appliance uprising will take us all. Self-dish. Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spell book out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it is most certainly evil magic? Do it the hard way. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, Thomas. Miriam notices too. I've always believed in you, Thomas, since we were little kids, because I am your best friend forever. You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you. Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly in your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. However, neither of you knows that Colonel Sanders made that first ingredient up to throw you off the trail of his secret recipe. The boiling pot explodes, and Miriam is sent flying backwards. Watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes.
It is I, Steve, the Spork Monster.
Steve, what happened to Borko? You're not here to battle me, are you?
We Spork Monsters are many. I think Borko had the day off. But you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out?
Sorry, Steve, but I'm in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spork Monster notices that you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station.
I see what you're up to. Crisscross some magical items and accidentally summon me, huh?
Yeah, you guessed it. Sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water?
I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country,
You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell some very long and involved story. You don't actually know where they came from, but it seems like it was probably just lonely. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition.
I understand. Kinda like that time in monster school that when I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up,
You toss a serious stare at Steve and he takes the hint.
never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck!
Having suffered from a huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. You summon extra power from deep down within yourself. Give up and drop out. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary flavor flows through your entire body. And that is where we're going to leave it. Thanks for watching. Yeah, so we're towards the end. There probably isn't that much left to do. So next week we're going to finish this up. If we have time, I might try to go for other endings as well. If not, we'll jump into another game. I'll finish this off in the first half of the stream, and we'll get going on another series, maybe. Depends how I feel. I've wanted to do the Stanley Parables, so maybe we can do that after I've finished playing I Love You, Colonel Sanders. But thank you for joining me on this lovely Saturday afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.